the natural high. No breath work. Nothing. How do you get high naturally? This is an energy transmission. All you have to do is connect to it. Allow yourself to fully embody the energy coming from this video. For some, it might take repeated practice. That's fine. This is tantric work, Kundalini work, Shakti energy. If you wish, simply place your attention in the center of your head during this session and feel. So simple. The more you allow yourself to quieten the mind, don't push it away, just allow it to quieten. Stillness, peace. In Tantra, and perhaps yoga, we call this the bliss state. It has many names. Perhaps samadhi, perhaps moksha. Just keep your awareness in the center of your head. Allow your body to relax fully. And feel this energy. Nothing more, nothing less. The most simple of simple things. If you have emotions that arise, allow them to arise. If you start yawning, if you start coughing, burping, hiccuping, laughing, crying, allow it to happen. If your body wishes to move, it feels like it wants to move, allow it to happen. Allow the subtle energies to awaken within you. Keeping your focus in your head. Whilst receiving this Shakti, this Tantra, this energy transmission. Some perhaps might call it Shaktipat. It's not full Shaktipat, this video. Simply a way for you to find how to get high naturally. You simply have to be without prejudice or bias or judgment. Just connect. Just feel. Many masters over the generations, centuries, millennia have learned how to do this. Some learn how to elicit it in themselves only. and thus try to teach techniques of how to do it. And there are many good techniques. Yet the technique is really the distraction for the mind. But with the mantra, it is not about the words, but the subtle energetic connection that is created by the vibration. The vibration is energy. Energy can be transmitted. For anyone who doubts that energy can be transmitted from person to person, have you ever walked into a room where there's been a discussion or an argument, and someone said, "I could cut the atmosphere with a knife"? Or perhaps you were at school and your friends had exams or tests and you didn't, but because they were nervous, you were nervous. We could call it a connection of badly sympathy, more correctly, empathy. An empathic connection created through energy. This is not pranic healing. This is not Reiki. For they are bottom-up types of energy healing. This is top-down. What do I mean by this? Well, bottom-up, people will teach there's Kundalini awakening bottom-up and top-down. They say, well, it goes from the root to the crown or the crown to the root. Well, bottom-up really means, first of all, we form these shapes, and these shapes become letters. We learn these letters, and then we learn that they form words. We learn these words, and we can make sentences out of these words. And these sentences become phrases, they have meaning, and we have descriptions and conversations. Yet top down is we have a conversation in the language that we learned, because we learned to talk before we learned to read and write. And then we understand from these descriptions and these conversations, there are sentences. And these sentences are formed with words, and these words are made up of letters. Bottom up, top down. So pranic healing is much like bottom up for healing. So we find blocks and we release them. We start to feel better, so we can connect more to ourselves, so we can feel these energies. This is top down. This is the energy through a transmission, which in turn, depending on where you are, which will lead to somatic releases, traumatic releases. The energy is awakening within you, causing somatic releases. But yet starting, if we focus purely in our heads as we are doing today, in a peace, in a calm, in a balance, in a grounding nature, which leads us to sensations of getting high, a natural high, which can lead, first of all, to visions, much like plant medicines, and beyond, into cities, psychic abilities, whatever you wish to call them. And all of these things are part of the path of an awakening. First comes healing. That is not awakening. We heal through prana, what we can call jing or sacred sensual energies. Once that has happened, we can then move into Kundalini Shakti. There are many brands out today saying they work with Kundalini when they actually work with prana and those sensual energies. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't get me wrong, they are amazing. They're great. I work with them too. They simply are not true Kundalini Shakti. You will know when Shakti rises, as opposed to the sensual energy running up the spine or prana running up the spine, because all the energies can run up the spine. Perhaps you have one and you think, this is Kundalini rising. Then you feel another, no, this is Kundalini rising. Until you learn that if it is not coming from the root, rising up the spine, not through the entire body, that's prana, purely in the spine, then you will understand Kundalini Shakti, which of course comes from Tantra, classical Tantra. Is your attention stood in the center of your head? You feel a buzzing, a lightness, a tingling. As I said, for some it will take many sittings, depending where you're starting. Others will feel it the first time out. You will literally, eventually, from this, feel high. How long does it last, this high? Once we have it, it is merely a question of keeping our attention there, to be in what Osho would call a constant state of bliss. Still not a Kundalini awakening, simply a natural high. But if this is what you seek, now of course if your attention wavers, you will lose it. If you lose it, simply come back and do the video again. And the more you practice, the longer you will be able to hold it. When you learn to hold it, if you've ever seen videos of Adida or Osho, they always seem as though they're high, don't they? Now you know why. So simple. Of course, if we think of the chemicals and the hormones involved here, we have the high of serotonin, we have the high of oxytocin. All these go on in the pineal. This is why you have your energy and focus centered in the center of your head, which eventually this will end up in the release naturally of DMT, and this is when visions will occur. You do not need plant medicine for this. You simply need practice. You can use breath work, of course, but again, that takes hours and lasts perhaps a few minutes. Now, if you have reached a level of feeling quite high, of course understand this is a feeling of being high, so do not drive a car like this. Do not operate machinery when you're like this. Not now, but simply know, if you wish to continue holding this, you open your eyes. Try now, opening your eyes and holding the state. If you've got there, if you haven't, just stay calm, focused, open. If you wish to bring yourself down from this, you can simply place your palms on your face, brush over your head. The stretch. For some, that'll be enough to bring you all the way down. For others, it'll bring you down but still keep you with a little buzz going. This is the real natural high. Through an energy transmission. If you wish to learn how to do this, go to theawakeningenergy.com. I train people in doing this, as well as many other things. See you in another video, and remember, if you did not manage to do it this time, it's a question of practice going back with the video. This is a video, so it's not as powerful as doing a private session, which I also do online. Of course, online is not as powerful as doing it in person, but it is an easy way to connect to people all around the world. Remember to subscribe, share this with other people who might wish to get high naturally. And I will see you in another video.